Hello, everyone. Today we are going to talk about apostrophes. Now, apostrophes can do two things. First off, an apostrophe can be used to show possession between two nouns. So one noun owns another noun, or one noun is associated with another noun. But apostrophes can also be used in contractions, and contractions are just when two words have been combined into one word. And usually when we do that, we use an apostrophe to indicate missing letters in the word. So you can see our example on the bottom is the word can't. In that word, we have C-A-N apostrophe T, and that apostrophe indicates that we've taken out an O. Now, today we're going to focus specifically on possession. So if you need help with contractions, you might want to check out a different video. Today we are focusing almost entirely on how an apostrophe is used to show that one noun owns another noun. That being said, here's an example. We weren't able to find the dog's ball. Now, you'll notice at the very beginning of the sentence, we have weren't, which is one of our contractions, but we're going to focus most closely on the last two words, which is dog's ball. Now, dogs is our first word that I want to look at. That word, we have one dog, and the apostrophe S shows that that dog owns something. Now, the thing it owns is the word right next to it, which is our second noun, which is the ball. So that apostrophe S that you see has been added onto dog is used to show that the dog owns the ball. Now, that being said, things get a little bit complicated based on where we put the apostrophe. There are three main types of modifications to these nouns that I want you to know today. First off, we can make a noun plural simply by adding an S to the end of it without an apostrophe. But when we want to show that the noun is possessive of something, when we want to show that the noun owns something, we're going to put an apostrophe S. Finally, though, there are some situations where we are going to have a noun that is plural and possessive. So not only is there more than one of that noun, but all of those nouns happen to own something. So the dogs on the left simply means that there is more than one dog. The dogs in the middle means there is one dog and that dog happens to own something. And then the dogs on the right, D-O-G-S apostrophe, that indicates that there are a lot of dogs and all of those dogs own something. Let's look at some examples. First off, example 1. After they ripped up the carpet in the living room, the dogs were banished to the backyard for the rest of the day. Now, in this sentence, we can tell that we are talking about more than one dog because of the word they. But these dogs don't necessarily own anything in the sentence. They don't possess anything. And because they don't possess anything, there should not be an apostrophe. Again, that's really important to us. If the nouns don't possess anything, or if the noun doesn't possess anything, then there should not be an apostrophe. In our second example, though, you can see that something changes here. After he ripped up the carpet in the living room, the dog's owners banished him to the backyard for the rest of the day. Now, in this sentence, the word he indicates that we only have one dog. So we need D-O-G, but then we're going to put apostrophe S at the end to show that the dog is associated with the owners. In a way, the dog owns the owners. It's kind of ironic, right? But we're going to do D-O-G apostrophe S to show that we have one dog and that dog is possessive of something. Now, on this next slide, you can see that same example that we just looked at on the top. But then we're going to jump down to example 3. And example 3 says, after they ripped up the carpet in the living room, the dog's owners banished them to the backyard for the rest of the day. So if we compare these two, our top example says after he ripped up the carpet. That indicates that there's just one dog. But our bottom example says after they ripped up the carpet, which means that there are a lot of dogs. Now, in both sentences, the dog and the dogs are possessive of their owners. They own their owners, like we just talked about. Our top sentence has D-O-G apostrophe S because there's just one dog that owns the owners. But our bottom sentence has D-O-G-S apostrophe to indicate that it is plural and possessive, to show that not only are there more than one dog, but all of them are possessive of the owners. So to summarize, it's important that we remember that there is plural, possessive, and plural and possessive. That little apostrophe that you see in those words does a lot of work to show us the meaning of the word, because like I mentioned before, the word on the left that just simply means there's a lot of dogs. But the word on the far right means there's a lot of dogs and they own something. So where that apostrophe goes is very critical to us. Now, to wrap everything up, there are two main things that apostrophes can do. First off, they can show that a noun owns another noun. So in this case, we have dogs. There is one dog, and that dog is possessive of something. Additionally, like we mentioned just briefly at the beginning, apostrophes can be used to create contractions in English, which is when we combine two words into one. And the apostrophe will indicate that letters are missing in that combination of words. That being said, typically where people make apostrophe mistakes are with possession. The important thing to remember with possession is that DOGS would mean plural. That just means that there's more than one dog. DOG apostrophe S means that there's one dog and that dog owns something. And then DOGS apostrophe means that there are a lot of dogs and they all own something that is plural and possessive. And so that apostrophe and where it goes is super critical to us. Thank you so much for watching today.